Hello and welcome to my channel, Indie Stories with Neha. Today I'm going to be reading a short story called The Fifth Treatise of a Scurvy Cur, 1747. It's by Avery Sparks, so here it goes. The Fifth Treatise of a Scurvy Cur, 1747. An introduction to the collection as presented by the British Library, 3rd January 26. Captain Judah Lynn's diary entries have been an object of some historical interest. For over 250 years, the same question has occupied the imagination and official inquiry. With the discovery of further papers belonging to Captain Judah Lynn, we believe we at last have an answer to this question. March 7, 1747 Diary of Captain Judah Lynn. To be selected as the preferred candidate to Captain HMS Rival was an honor I had not anticipated. I am allotted a crew who I fear will require the discipline of the whip before they are fit for purpose. First Lieutenant Matthew Gladsome and Purser Archibald Fitzroy are upstanding fellows with whom I look forward to whiling away many agreeable hours in the captain's quarters. This position is unfamiliar to me, but I am assured by the Admiralty that it is legitimate and that Mr. Calloway must remain in senior, though advisory capacity. The man himself appears to be an substantial coxcomb. His hair and beard are thick and well maintained with the liberality of oil I find unnecessary. By way of introduction, he thought it fit to mention that he had authored no less than 4 treatises on the sea paths we were to traverse and invited me to seek his counsel at a regular meeting. I hoped that would conclude the matter. April 13th, 1747 Diary of Captain Judah Lynn. I have been unable to subdue the interference of the irritating gnat Fabian Calloway. It came to my attention that an unsanctioned and entirely frivolous bit of mummery was due to be staged in the dining hall last week. You may inquire as to why I object to a modest diversion for men on so long and arduous a passage. I could no longer trust Fitzroy in this matter. I invited him to dine in my quarters. I told him without circumlocution that I had nearly shot him. But you're not the captain of the ship, I reminded him. I had wondered, he said, regarding me over his rat drag-out, to whom the Admiralty would next turn after I declined the captaincy, having not the appetite to lead again. That he was the Admiralty's preferred candidate was of course a lie, but one in the moment I could not disapprove. I soaked up drag-out with a morsel of rat and prayed for the tenacity to quell. May 24, 1747 Diary of Captain Judah Lynn. Yet even I must admit that our current predicament is beyond the usual slowing off of the most infirm. Our present condition approaches rather more perilous territory. Even so, His Majesty's Royal Navy seldom willingly to official acknowledge sickness. A man must be insensible and long past usefulness before he is considered to be sick. We have attempted that preferred curative of malt and sauerkraut, both of which had the prudence to ensure should be brought upon the vessel in sufficient quantity before embarkation. None are revived, and the sickest have already been departing this life. To my increasing vexation, Calloway's strong feelings on this matter persist. In particular, he seems obsessed by a solution advanced in his 4th treatise, about which he will not desist in speaking: the consumption of fresh fruit, chiefly lemons and oranges. He presses his case with an emotional fervor, dwelling with what I fear is some relish upon the current state of the men, their putrefying purple gums extruding from their mouths, swelling so great they cannot hold their teeth. The greater his preoccupation, the more my heart hardens in opposition to the extent that any fellow heard to make mention of citrus fruits aboard HMS Rival shall be put to hard labor. June 16, 1747 Diary of Captain Judah Lynn. Command was wrested from me by criminal means. I myself am held in confinement in a berth adjoining the sick bay, where I was at first forced to exist in near communion with men so unwell they were enough to fall into pieces. Day by day I endure the torment of their cadaverous breath. Calloway persists in compelling me to grant him evidence. I tell him that I observe their licentious merriment and understand full well that he has done a deal with one no less malign than Saturn himself, that he has interfered with the natural course of things, and I will have no part in his infernal fanaticism. The day on which he and I might have reconciled shall never arrive. June 6, 1753, a letter from Captain Judah Lind to his brother Nathan Lind. Dear Nathan, for many years you have borne the weight of my reputation more so than I ever realized may be so. We are advanced in age, and although I never intended to set these matters down, the temper of my intent has itself resolved to natural forces in the past 6 years in ways I did not anticipate. I struggle to find ears that listen without the judgment of superstition, the pediment of disinterest, or the denial of the obdurate. During the 1747 voyages of HMS Rival, my crew did indeed fall prey to scurvy as that I anticipated. My closest compatriots, Gladsome and Fitzroy among them, were experienced seamen who had seen first-hand of the gruesome bodily decay of those driven by scurvy. Following the British Navy's institution of Calloway's rule and citrus rations allocated to all sailors daily on voyages, I believed I had triumphed. The methodical truth, alas, lies far more distant to the recall than the rigid captain and his jocular adversary trading threats over a dinner of rats. I may be presumptuous in asking for forgiveness, but dear Nathan, I ask that you find it in your heart. Your most affectionately, Judah. So friends, this was the short story, the fifth treatise of a scurvy cur, 1747 by Avery Sparks. Hope you liked it. If you've got any story recommendations, please mention it in the comment section. I would love to read it to you the next time round. Additionally, I would want you to please like my content, comment, share, and subscribe the channel. So with the promise to meet you again sometime else on some other episode, some other time, this is me, Neha, signing off for now. Until then, take care.